the wildest use of, they were like, we torched this fucking thing to make it like scarred black. And then we use that to toss the meat in before we cook it so that it has like this charcoaly, like smoky flavor and color to it. And then sometimes you see dishes that are like fucking lime green, like Ninja Turtle piss. And it's fucking, it was a Wagyu empanada that was like stuffed, like topped with Wagyu that was stuffed with crap. Like there was so much fucking good food there that even if you maybe hit a cliche beach spot, you know, like we didn't eat at a lot of those like on the beachfront restaurants that
right.
were owned by like where the people are coming and selling you shit for $1 or whatever. Yeah. We didn't eat at those, but you sit there and you catch a fade, you know. Also, we didn't have the stones to buy the shrimp on a stick or the fucking oysters on a half shell that are just sitting on a tray walking down the beach.
Yeah, those could get warm.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Nah,
yeah,
good call.
But we also, if you're looking for a place to stay or looking to see how we did it, Villa Divina, whatever. I'm just trying to spell it phonetically. Villa space Divina. And then we stayed on Kachina or whatever. It's like a hilltop little like area where you do a bunch of switchbacks, but then you have a great view. So you're a little bit removed from the tourist hotels down in the Romantica zone. At the same time, if you're just looking to have a good time, eat good food, it's just south of the city. That's kind of where the vibe of fun was popping off for, I guess, most, from what we saw, most people. We didn't go up to Siesta, which is like an hour north. That's apparently like a party like resort area, like the all-inclusive 25-year-olds.
Discos on site and stuff.
Like if you're trying to get like party.
Swim up bar.
Yeah, shit like that. We didn't do that, which, I mean, more power to those that do. We debated it. We were like, do we want to get froggy? And then it was like an hour 15 to get over there. And we were like, nah.
So question though, as far as beaches go, rank California beaches, the Puerto Vallarta beaches, and Gulf Coast beaches.
Okay, so for those that haven't done the Gulf compared to the Pacific, because we are kind of more on the western side, I'd say that the water was very warm, but it was not like super clear.
Yeah.
The sands, it was a little bit rocky, but it wasn't like crazy. So the water's warmer than California, similar like darker blue color, a little bit of the sea foam that comes in from the tourist boats out there doing banana rides and fucking parasailing. But the vibe along the beach was fun. You know, there's a lot of restaurants and bars. So if I was going to power rank them by beaches alone, I'm going to be biased and I'm going to remain 1A is the Gulf of Mexico, the white pearl sand.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can walk on it. The water's a little prettier, but the water was fine. You know, like it felt nice. It wasn't cold or anything. It was a little choppy, but nothing like if you were you could go fucking snorkeling or whatever. And we did the catamaran one day and ate ceviche on the boat and caught a fade. So I would probably put PV above California just for temperature of water since when last time I went to San Diego. But similar like mindsets in regards to how the beach is kind of laid out. There's stuff to do. So those are kind of like 1B and 1C. But, I mean, the Gulf remains true. I mean, every now and then you want an oyster the size of a fucking fist and you want it char grilled with, drinks a glass of water. So Gulf 1, Puerto Vallarta 2, I guess San Diego 3.
Gotcha.
And if we did it on talent, you would reverse that. Because San Diego has the most attractive people. Puerto Vallarta has a combo of the tourist and then some interesting folks. And then the Gulf reverse as opposed to the water.
Yeah, at the Gulf,
crowds,
Gulf, you're always guaranteed to catch a man in his 70s rocking a man bikini and excessive back hair.
That's fucking everywhere in Mexico. I was talking about more of like the ladies scene. It's like go to California before you're going to Florida for just about everything.
Yeah, the women down there are going to have
taxes.
faded tattoos, maybe with like a sailor anchor or something. Yeah,
it's not as salt lifey as it is in the Gulf. But the city is fucking fun as shit. Like the cobblestone roads are neat. The architecture is gorgeous. You know, the language barrier was huge for Kip because I just wasn't ever sober. So it's like I'm trying to do math in another language. And then there's the, like, how it's 20-1 or 19-1 or 18-1, depending on who you're asking. So it's like, fuck, I can't divide by 17 to see how much I, you know.
Yeah, like, but just know that, like, when you buy a taco, it's probably about $1.
Yeah. So we hit up a bunch of, like, taco stands as well. And she was like, yeah, 170, you know, dólares.
Pesos.
Which is pesos, Mexican dollars. And so I was like, 170 divided by 20, I was like, $8. I was like, here's a 10 or something like that. So like that was a little bit of a barrier just because I'm stupid and I'm one of those idiot, ignorant Americans that only knows one language. Well, I wish I didn't take fucking Latin. That would have really helped out. But
yeah, seeing as your med school didn't work out.
Yeah. Lawyer Kip didn't really come to fruition either, Chris. But yeah, so the language barrier, I hate that I didn't have that. The food scene, I'd give it a 9.3 out of 10. Fresh seafood, creative dishes, tacos at every fucking corner. You can't beat that.
Yeah. And I guess, like, coming back now, you'll get a better appreciation for the spots in Denver that really do have good tacos.
That I do agree. Yeah, you are right. Like, coming back, like, you know, some of them really hit, and some of them weren't as, like La Diabla and La Calleja, La Villa del Real down on Federal. Like, those people are fucking doing great stuff in comparison to what's going on down there. Like, it's equally as authentic, you know? So I wouldn't say, like, I'm not going to say, oh, you should go to PV. You know, like when girls come back and they're like, oh, well, in my semester abroad, you know, we ate cacio pepe every day. I'm not going to be that dickhead, but I'm still going to shit on people for eating federales.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, stop eating shitty tacos in Denver, in Mexico, wherever.
Yeah, and why do that when you can get cheaper, better ones at La Diabla?
I mean, yeah, it's so good.
I mean, I went there Friday while y'all were gone because I had to get a fix. I had to be a part of it somehow.
Yeah, like just like away, but there.
Yeah.
The tequila flows at a very cheap cost.
And you also forget that at sea level,
it takes a little bit more.
It does. It does. I don't understand how that really works, but it is hard sometimes to catch a good fade.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Chris, I think the story that did the most numbers, that got the most engagement about going to Mexico, had nothing to do with the fucking food, though. It all stemmed from going through customs with cannabis, going down there. So marijuana is legal down there. To be honest, fucking everything's legal down there. You just have to ask the right people. But they can see that they can shake down Americans who may or may not have cannabis or whatever. So you go through the first wave of customs, you show them your passport, you tell them how much money you have on them, how many bags you got, and then you give that slip to the next line of customs where there's a bunch of fucking assholes dressed like stormtroopers in white fucking camo for God knows what reason. They look like the bad guys from GoldenEye.
Strapping, too.
Yeah. So they ask you something in Spanish, which I had no habla español. And they're like, press the button. And so you press this button, and in front of you there's a mirror, and it shows up like a red X or a green Procedo. So like I was walking, and I had a different seat than everybody in our party. So we all kind of walk. You walk with your party kind of like just in line like you do off the plane.
Yeah.
Continue on. So like we weren't necessarily together, so they couldn't profile 9 fucking stoners at the same time. It didn't fucking matter. They picked us out like a sore fucking thumb. Like a
white boys with money coming down to Mexico.
I wore my second best linens, and they just flagged the shit out of me, Chris. Okay, so the 3 girls before me, they all press it, and they get green lit. I press it, and it just pops up red. And so I had taken a bunch of edibles with me. Shout out to our friends at Taste Buds. I'm sure you don't like me muling your drugs, but I fucking love them on the beach. And I took some cartridges from our friends at Seed Smith. Obviously, I take that fucker with me everywhere. And I got some 510s from our friends over at Eureka, which you can get at Shop Callie's. So I had those kind of tucked away, hidden in little secret compartments in the DOP kit, in like inside your shoe, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I put the edibles in a Ziploc in plain sight with a different bag of veggie straws that you can just buy at the grocery store in a same bag, and you put those on the top of your carry-on bag, so then it's hidden in plain sight. So they just excuse that whole bag of edibles because they see that next to the veggie straws or fucking Doritos or whatever you want to put in there.
Right.
And then so they just disregard that. And so they're tossing around all my finest linens, disregarding my Italian loafers, just like tossing them. I was like, excuse me.
Those are going to get wrinkled.
I bought all of these things, and yeah, Chris, linen comes disheveled. And then so he finds like a pen card, and he's like, is this THC? Is this CBD? And if you tell him, yeah, they write you just a fucking ticket, and then they're like, go to the kiosk, and you go up there and it's a woman sitting there, and they say, it says on the sign, help avoid corruption, pay with your credit card for your bill. So a couple people in our group got flagged, and so we were like, oh fuck. And like I see them sitting on a bench waiting for their tickets to be written, not knowing that they had been fucked, while my bag is getting searched. So I was like, God damn it, I'm screwed. So apparently corruption's still full. It's like New Orleans in that aspect. It's as corrupt as the day is young. So two of our buddies in our group get flagged, get their cartridges found, and so they get their tickets written. But the one that knew Spanish fluently negotiated his ticket down to $100. And then after they paid it, they got their fucking weed back from the fucking cop that like confiscated it to take a ticket, give them a ticket.
Yeah, it's just a way for them to make money.
It's just a quick shakedown before you leave the airport.
I love that.
I don't know if I love it.
I mean, not love that, but the fact
I appreciate it.
The fact that like they aren't going to do anything drastic, they just want to make a little dough on top of it.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. It's like we know you'll have a surplus of cash in your pocket as you just went through our currency stand. Why don't we take a couple of those off?
Yeah, we also noticed that your departure flight was from Colorado.
I don't think it's as bad as that, but, you know, either way, like, you can get weed. Like, so if you're worried about it, you don't want to pay that ticket, you don't want to chance it, you can buy weed down there. It is quite literally fucking everywhere. People were selling pipes on the boardwalk, you know, at least where we were. They're like, do you want weed? Do you need cocaine? You need ketamine? Like, we were like, yeah. Fuck yeah, we need all of them. We didn't buy it from them, but we needed all of it, you know. And then, of course, the pharmacy is available, so you can get your painkillers, Xanax, Viagra, whatever you may need. They've got it all there for you. So if you don't want to bring the weed with you down there, but you want to be able to enjoy, there are options. And I can give you people's phone numbers if you slide in our DMs. But I would recommend bringing your own down there. It's worth it. And it's easy to hide most of the stuff in plain sight. All of these stories were alleged. But yeah, so that pretty much covers it. I would say if you're in the romantic zone, about to go to the beach, go hit up Pepe's Tacos for some al pastor. Pancho's was good. Chalinques, I know I'm butchering them, but I'm trying to do it phonetically.
Right.
But Marisco El Guaro, we got Marlin Tacos and the full red snapper.
That red snapper looked real good.
Yeah, it was fuck-worthy. It was probably the best thing I ate the whole weekend. That was probably it. So, like, that was, I mean, we'll post the video. You can see some pictures of it. We'll try to tell y'all where we went as we go through them. But to be honest, it just kind of depends. It's like if I give you a place in Littleton, but you're staying in fucking Broomfield for a vacation, it doesn't do you much good.
Right.
You know? So if you have any questions or need any help or anything like that, just shoot us a DM at stoned_appetit and we'll take care of it. Okay, so I think we've recapped Mexico. Shout out to our new sponsors and Kip's Med Card. Next up, dinner. The dinner to be all dinners. Dude, it's going to be so awesome. So we have Merlin. As y'all know, he's the mad scientist. He does things better than everybody else. So his, I don't know, what's the term for when you're like a chemist? He's like Alden Smith or Alton, you know,
Alton Brown.
Alden Smith is the defensive end for the Cowboys / Niners. He's like Alden Brown, and he's bringing in his partner in crime for this week, Justin Brunson. Y'all probably know him from River Bear American Meats. He used to run Old Major. He's heavily entrenched in the Colorado food scene. So we're only going with Premier Meats and Cuts this week.
Yeah,
next week.
Every dinner series we do gets better and better.
100%. And Merlin's still fine-tuning his